Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. We're here, man.
We are here.
So I got a story on
Oh, man.
It's story time for
It's
this episode.
story time.
It's story time.
Well, let's hear it, man.
So, me and Candace, it was for our anniversary. We decided to go look at the leaves up in New England. And I'll have to say, we picked the perfect time to do this.
That's
The leaves were unbelievable. And we really wanted to do a lot of just like sightseeing and hiking, like outdoor stuff.
yeah.
And what we did was first thing we did was we went up to Vermont from Boston, and we did Lake Champlain. But then what we did was we went up to it was around Stowe, and we stayed at a place that was, I mean, it was beautiful, man. It was like out in the country.
Yeah.
The sunset hit it to where like in the morning it would hit the leaves, and we had like almost like a whole 180 view.
Wow.
Of the whole like valley, hills, everything.
Panoramic.
But we get up early because one of the main things, I guess you could call it one of the challenges.
What are the challenges
that we want to do? Because it was
that we you said that we wanted to do.
We wanted to do it.
Like,
I really wanted to do it.
Okay.
Candace she knew it was like the views were really good. So it that was like the thing. If it's not if it doesn't have a good view.
Man, if you're saying good view,
maybe.
are you
Like she's talking about like seeing everything.
Yeah. Is this a what's your mountain kind of episode?
It kind of is. It kind of is.
Oh my God.
It kind of is. So what I'm talking about is we went up to, it's called Lake Willoughby, and there's a summit. Actually, the definition of the word is summit. Yeah, it's called Mount Pisgah, which literally, like in Hebrew, it means summit.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you know, we watched YouTube videos.
I'm having flashbacks of my experiences right now.
We've watched, you know, we've seen photos, we've looked at trails, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we know what it entails to get up and to see these sights and stuff. Yeah. Like we know this. So as we're going up there, I mean, this is like border of Canada, like up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's real close to the border of Canada.
Okay.
And it's a glacier-fed lake. Or, well, it's not glacier-fed, but it actually was created by glaciers.
Yeah, it carved it out.
Yeah, so it carved out. And what's so unique, I didn't know this until I looked it up. It's one of the deepest lakes in the New England area up there in Vermont. Mm. It's like 300 feet deep.
Oh, wow.
It's only second to Lake Champlain up there in that area.
Wow.
I was like, oh man, this is cool. And the water's like super clear.
Yeah.
It is. It's like, and when we got there, it was so calm. It looked like glass.
Yeah.
It was real calm. But like we're driving up and I can see it like miles away. I can see this thing.
The summit.
Yeah. And it's like you got two summits. You got Mount Pisgah on one side and then they call it Mount Hor, Hor, on the other, and then the lake is in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So you get this like panoramic view at the summits. Then when you get down to the lake, you got this like, it's almost like a canyon look to it. It's like I gotta put some photos on Instagram for us for this.
Yeah.
To really get the view of this.
Let people check it out.
Because there's some things like we took pictures of, it doesn't do it justice. Like when we get to the summits of it, like
you gotta be there.
You've got to be there because it's like massive.
Wow.
Like we were driving up. So the way we had to do it was we had to come up the north side and then come down to the South Beach area where the hiking trail's at.
Yeah.
Well, we're driving up and like we start getting closer and closer and this thing looks huge.
So wait. So let me get this straight.
Like I didn't realize it was that big. It looks huge.
So somebody's mind is getting messed with right now.
Right.
Because you're telling me you have to drive up.
You got to go
back down.
Yeah, because the back roads and stuff. You got to go up to the north end of Lake Willoughby.
Yeah.
And then come back down. So you don't just come up to it and go to the trail. Like we got the full spectrum of what it looks like.
Oh wow. Driving.
Before we actually got on the trail.
So you're literally telling yourself like, hey, we're gonna have to climb
like that.
Like what we're doing in our car, we're gonna be okay.
Like what we're driving through, like right next to is what we're gonna go up.
Wow.
And it looks huge. Like this thing looks massive when you come up to it.
Wow.
Like you're 3 miles away and you just see these big, huge summits. And then you know the lake's in between, but you can't see the lake because it's like...
Yeah.
And then once you start getting closer and closer, it's so big, you almost don't notice it's that big because it's just like you're engulfed in it. But we make it to the trailhead. So we make it to the trailhead. And to give you an idea, like we use All Trails.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have. But so the length is only 4.1 miles.
You said only.
It's only 4.1 miles. The elevation gain is 1,653. And when I say
4 miles?
When I say 4.1 miles, the elevation gain is only in 2 miles.
Oh, it's flat and then
so it's an up and back. It's 4.1.
Oh.
So really the elevation gain is in 2 something miles.
Right.
So that's pretty
1,000
pretty steep.
And
pretty steep climb in 2 miles.
Wow.
I mean, and then when you look it up on All Trails, they say it's hard. I didn't even notice that until I looked it up. I was like, did Candace know this?
She couldn't have known.
She did.
Oh, she did know?
She did. She knew.
Hard.
She knew. It says hard on there. But like the rating is like almost a 5-star.
5-star.
I'm like, man, you can't not, especially after what we've seen.
But you said you didn't know.
I didn't know. I didn't think it was that crazy. I mean, I've done Blood Mountain and stuff like that. And I want to say it's probably worse than that. To be honest with you,
worse.
I think the elevation gain. It's almost the same. But we get to the trailhead, and the first start's fine. Like the first quarter mile or so, like you're getting into the woods.
Yeah.
And then you start getting up to where you start hiking up the elevation gains.
There's not much switchback?
There's not. I would honestly, the switchbacks like what we see in Georgia are not switchbacks like what you see up there. Like you're climbing rocks almost. Like stairs.
Yeah.
But the trail is so worn, it's not like you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty noticeable on getting up there. And the great thing about it is you got different outlooks as you're going up.
So you stop.
Yeah, so there's one outlook that is like, the only way I could describe it is like when you're hiking up this trail, you have no clue you're going up as high as you are.
Oh, really?
Like it's that big. Like you're going up, and then you go to these little outlooks.
Yeah.
So it's like because it's the glaciers created this thing, so it's carved out these, outlooks in this hill or this summit, this mountain, and you can look out off these outlooks.
Yeah.
But it's like straight drop off.
Oh.
There's no rails. There's no nothing. Like
you're out there.
you're out there. But the first one is like you really get an idea of like, wow.
Yeah.
Like this is high.
This
is like really high.
Oh, really?
And then it's like, oh, we're not even like halfway there.
Oh no. No, we're not even. Did you have like a thing with heights or not really?
I didn't. Candace does. Candace,
wow.
There's certain, I don't know how to describe it. She's not scared of heights in certain situations.
Yeah.
But when she has the free will to roam in high areas, that's something that she's not.
Yeah, she don't need.
Like if she's in an airplane, it's different.
Right.
But when you're like on a ledge area with no rail, no nothing,
she's not doing that.
But she did it. She did. I mean, the views are amazing. But we get to the first outlook, and then this is where it starts to get a little bit more challenging, because the elevation gain starts to pick up faster in the last quarter to half mile. It's constantly going up. And the crazy thing is you don't really know how high you are because you're hiking in the woodline area. And the trees are so built up. Yeah. Like, it's not like with the leaves that fallen and you can see out. Like, you can't. It's beautiful colors and everything, but you don't really see until you get to the top.
They're masking the height.
And then you get to the top, and it was... we get to the top of Mount Pisgah. And there's a sign. I'll have to post it on Instagram. There's a sign that says Summit Mount Pisgah. But the view is like you're in the woods.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna sit there like I hiked this. I'm all the way to the top.
For the woods.
For the woods. I'm like, no, this can't be right. So you have to go a little further to do the outlooks.
Yeah.
So you have to go down on the other, because you can go through the hike or you can do a loop. You can go up and back.
Yeah.
So we went down further, and there's like 3 or 4 different outlooks you can look at. And man, like there was one outlook you could get up to the top of this rock.
Yeah.
You could literally see North Beach and South Beach.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was amazing. But I think the solidification was for that, because this was like midway through the trip. It was like the expectations of it for me matched. Like I knew I could hike it, and I knew.
Expectation of
like
the
the
hike,
expectation
or
of the hike,
of everything, the views,
of everything, the views, like everything turned out perfect. And even with like Candace, like it was a challenge for her. Like this was a huge accomplishment because she has never hiked anything this size.
Wow.
Like this steep. And she did it. She did it like it was I mean, she did it for real.
She's a champ.
She sucked it up. I know. I know she did. But like after that, I was like, that's an accomplishment right there.
You told her
you
that.
need to own that, like for real.
Yeah. What'd she say?
Oh, she enjoyed. Yeah. Now she was sore. She was sore. She said she ain't never felt that sore before.
Wow.
But to me, it was like I knew I could do it. Like I had that. She knew she could do it. But I feel like the accomplishment for her was so much bigger because it was something that really did push her like hard.
Yeah.
Like she had to get out of her head sometimes.
So it's a whole nother thing saying, I know I can do it, but then actually doing it.
And it kind of, I'd love to say it relates to the story of What's Your Mountain.
Yeah.
In a way, because like I've hiked stuff like this before.
Yeah.
So I know what it's going to feel like. But when you can do that with somebody and like help them get to that point and like experience that with them, man, especially like if it's the views and stuff we had the whole trip.
Yeah, man.
Like that's one of those, that's like an unforgettable. Like you can't forget.
So the question, would you do it again?
Yeah, I honestly would, because that place, it's like a secret up there.
It's a secret.
There's not that many people that go up to Lake Willoughby in that area. Now it's probably going to pick up because
you're talking about it.
Well, yeah, and it's starting to get more traction with some, social media and stuff like that. But
would Candace do it again?
Oh yeah, I think she would. But yeah, it's just the being able to experience that, because that was like the challenge for the trip.
Every trip has
that was the challenge. That was our challenge for the trip, because we wanted to do hiking stuff and we wanted to see views. And like, I hate to say it, but there's some things, like if you want a true view of something, you got to go places where people don't go a lot.
You got to be willing to go places that people don't.
Like off the beaten path kind of deal. Now, this wasn't off the beaten, but there really wasn't that many people there. I was surprised with how beautiful this place was. But, man. And then the lake.
It was too cold to get in.
Yeah. Yes.
For me?
Oh, no. You and me would have got in it. But there is one thing people do have to know. There's certain areas where...
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you look up the beach areas. I don't want to bring it up on, but it's make sure you go at the proper time.
Right.
People really don't swim.
I understand. Wow.
But it was really cool. Like we saw, like there were people paddleboarding. Paddling Lake Willoughby. There was a guy that was paragliding around the whole. I thought that was like, he just flying around.
You got pictures of that
just
stuff?
Flying around. I think I may have gotten one of those.
Yeah.
Because I kept hearing it. I'm like, what is he doing? And then I see this paraglider come off in the lake. Like he was just driving around the lake and then coming back doing loops.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That's special, man.
It is special, man. And like one of the things, like that was the challenge. And I felt like it was a building block to a bigger challenge that we wanted to do. Like was the Franconia Ridge. Because we went, that was one of the other stops that we did. And the Franconia Ridge is a little bit more challenging than that.
Oh, than the one y'all
you
just did.
Like elevation gain, that's 3,000.
3,000.
And you're going on the ridge line for, there's 3 peaks.
3 peaks.
That you go. And it's like 9 miles.
Like round trip?
Yeah. Round trip.
So
I took a picture of it. We actually went to the
trailhead.
We went to the trailhead of where we were thinking about doing for this trip, and we just knew like time wise and just.
And this
training.
was after the other one?
This was after.
Oh no!
This was after. And we looked and I took a picture of the sign because it's got the sign with the trail, and it's got the peaks on the.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm coming back for this one. Like this, I gotta come back for this one.
That's good.
But
you said you had to train for that one?
Yeah, you were.
Or you think you could just show up and just get it?
You can. I mean, some people can, but it kind of depends on the seasons, on when you do it and stuff like that. But I want to be able to enjoy it.
Would you do that one in the fall colors, or would you
do
that one in...
Oh, yeah. That would be amazing in fall colors. Now, it does get chilly.
Are they snow-capped?
No. It depends on... It kind of depends. They can be. Oh, okay. Yeah, but at the time that we went, like October-ish, early October, you would just be dealing with like maybe some wind and a little bit of cold weather. But other than that...
3,000 feet elevation.
Yeah.
In 4 miles.
Oh no, this one's 8. Well, this one's
no, you said round
Franconia
trip.
Ridge is different. Franconia is different. Yeah. Round trip is like 9, but the 3,000 elevation gain I think is in like half that or more, maybe 6 miles of that.
6 miles of it.
Yeah, and then the other 3 is I think just coming back down. Actually, honestly, coming back down is a little challenging.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was easier for you going up?
It was easier. I wouldn't call it easier.
Yeah.
It's just coming down is a little bit more stress on like your knees and your hamstrings, your quads.
What about Candace? How was she up and down? Like, what was her stronger, up or down?
I think her up was stronger.
Yeah.
Down was a little bit more challenging because when you're having to come down on the rocks, you got to make sure you don't slip, because if you do,
when me and Erica was hiking in out west, like she can climb.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did my thing, but it's almost like she ran up the mountain, literally.
Right.
But then on the way down,
it's different.
I ran down the mountain, and she's like, there's some places where
we got a little bit more momentum for us.
Right. It's like, man, how are you getting down so good? And it's like,
I like it. Like when I did trail running, there's something about like looking 3 steps ahead, especially like when you're coming down a mountain, so you can kind of, going up is a little different because you're probably going a little slower.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mount Pisgah.
The summit.
Y'all
earn
it's
the
biblical,
views.
man. It's a biblical.
It's biblical.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
But we thoroughly enjoyed that trip. You have to check the Instagram posts out.
Definitely have to show some photos of y'all's views so they can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
You earned it.
Yeah. It's a building block, man. We did that, and now it's like, okay, we've done this. Let's go. Let's see what else. Like a more challenge, a better view.
Better view. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I want the better view.
What can you find?
That's good.
But
I feel it, man.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Recommended. Go to New England for the fall colors.
Do it. Check out Lake Willoughby. And if you want to see some sights, climb the summits.
Climb the summits.
Yeah.
Might have to check this out, man.
You're going to have to. I'm going to have to show you. I'm showing you some pictures.
Yeah.
We put it on the Instagram.
All right. I feel good about it. You?
I feel magnificent about it.
That's right. Testing you, right?
Yeah, testing.
That's good. Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence, and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.